Good morning. Good morning, baby girl.
The last couple of weeks, I've been very busy with a lot of crafting projects. Here are all the supplies that I was using to create these sort of cardboard castles that I'm going to share very soon. Plaster strips, joint compound, newspaper, flour for my paper mache, and of course my Celsius to keep me awake through all of these projects. I was creating these whimsical structures out of cardboard for this event that I was hosting for my business at the Mesa, and I did my first content club event, so I wanted to create all these different backdrops, and this was all for our whimsical kind of fairy cottage core backdrop, and it was so much fun to create these structures, but it was a multi-step process. So this actually took me multiple months to work on. There's the first step of just creating the structure out of cardboard, and I used paper towel rolls, toilet paper rolls, and then all of these cardboard boxes that I got from our neighbors. This was my first time ever doing stuff like this, so I had to teach myself these steps as I went along, but it was pretty user-friendly as I watched, tutorials on YouTube and TikTok, and also read about all of the materials that I needed to use and how to use them. But it was just really meditative for me. I would just get lost in creating these castles. I felt like a kid again. I wanted to create this kind of whimsical princess cottage core kind of backdrop. So I created a total of 3 structures, and then for another set design that I had that was all polka dots and buttons, I created this giant button as well. And once I figured out the structures and built them out, I would just tape them together, hot glue them so they were sturdy enough, and then I would do the paper mache with the newspaper. And then the third step was this kind of plaster roll that I got that's activated by water, and I just cut them into strips and just smoothed it out with the water, and this was so easy to make and also so fun. And after these plaster rolls dry up, it creates this harder kind of plaster layer to your structure, and I had to do all of these steps for the 3 castles that I was creating plus a button, so a total of 4 structure pieces. In my last vlog that I posted like 2 weeks ago, I think I said that life was really crazy, and this is why it was crazy, because I was on a tight deadline and I decided to create 4 structures from scratch by myself. And once I have a vision and a goal, I get like tunnel vision and I have to complete it. I have to just finish it all. This was one of the structures that I made. I think this might be one of my favorites, but this was only for 1 set design. I had a total of maybe, I think, 5 set designs that I was working on, so I had a lot on my plate. And while I was doing this, I would obviously give myself some lunch breaks. Gotta eat. I made this summer sandwich now that it's starting to get warmer. I would make sure to balance out my schedule, so I would do a couple of hours of the crafting work, and then I would take breaks for food, and then I would also run to the store for any sort of materials that I needed for this project. And like I mentioned, this is a multi-step process project, so even though I was doing the plaster, I also had to go grab paint because there's also a paint step to all of this. And this is the life of a small business owner where you're basically having to run everything yourself. I was running to get my supplies. I was also worrying about the marketing and the social media and building the set designs and making sure that I was like selling enough tickets. So all of my days this past month have just been so busy. I had something to do every single day, but I also need balance. I'm a Libra, so in between I would fit in some of my social stuff like editing my YouTube videos. And of course my assistant, our Basset Hound, loves to watch herself on TV. She loved this travel vlog that I posted back in March, I think. She's so silly. I love her. And of course I like to, treat myself to a nice dinner. Here's some protein pasta that I made the other day, and it was so good. And of course my dog begging every single time I'm eating. And on top of that, I have my main job, which is kind of like the main source of income that pays the bills, but I love it. It does require me to travel a lot, so I had to go on a trip, and I was in Utah. And the nature in Utah is just so beautiful. I love my job, so I don't mind doing this, but it does create a pretty busy full schedule for me since I have to travel a lot. But I love my job, so I'm not even complaining. It was a very quick trip, and then I headed back to LA, and I was back home. After trips like this, I like to just start off slow, kind of reacclimate myself to the home life. I start off my mornings with my very important morning ritual, and this changes every time. I was in the mood for some tea, and then I also made myself some soy riso and egg tacos. Since I started this YouTube channel, I said that I would replace my pan because it needed an update, and also my spatula. And since then, I have updated to this new spatula, so thank goodness. I also did update my new pan, so I don't have this old one anymore. But look at me getting my life together with small little changes. And these soy riso and egg tacos are so good. I love when I make soy riso tacos. It's my favorite. Another important detail of our weekly routine is doing our meal preps, and we started going back to Costco just because prices right now are so incredibly high, and we just started freezing all of our meat. So we've been going to Costco a lot more often, and also going to Costco for the gas because gas prices are insane right now. And like I've mentioned multiple times already, I am a Libra who needs her balance. So in between all of the daily routines and the work and everything, we like to enjoy ourselves and just enjoy life. So we actually signed up for Swimply. It's an app where you can rent people's pools, and it's been around for a while, and we just found out about it, and it's amazing. We found this amazing pool on a really hot day in LA, and it was such a good day. We got a nice tan. We also made ourselves some summer sandwiches. We packed ourselves some cold beverages and some snacks and just enjoyed the sun by the pool. We have become obsessed with this app and already have multiple reservations for the summer. We don't have access to a pool, so this is a great alternative if you've never heard of Swimply. And it's just nice to just take a break from all the chaos and stress and busyness of work and just enjoy yourself. And now let's do a little PR commercial break. Not really a commercial break, but here's some PR that I recently unboxed. I got this beautiful dress from Son de Fleur. I can't wait to wear it. I also got some perfumes from Good Chemistry. All of them smell so good, and the packaging is so cute. I think Good Chemistry is like my new perfume obsession. I'm not lying when I say that every single one of the scents that they sent me were so good. I also got some Stiller soda. They sent me the root beer flavor, and then they also have this lemon lime flavor, and then this Shirley Temple. I'm not a big root beer person, but my husband is, so he really liked their root beer. I was really excited to try this product out. And then I also got some products from Garnier. And then I was invited to go to the Silver Lake Blundstones storefront, and I've never owned Blundstones, and I've wanted them for so long. They invited me to come try on some of their shoes, and I was so excited, and I'm so grateful that they reached out to me. Thank you so much, Blundstones. But I tried a bunch of their shoes on. I liked multiple. I tried on multiple colors, multiple boots. I also really loved their Aero cork clogs that they had. And I am just really grateful that I can do this on the side while I also do jobs that I love and run my own business, and then also be treated by amazing brands who, you know, gift me things like this. My husband and I spent a lot of time in the Pacific Northwest last year because he's from there, and I kept seeing Blundstones everywhere, and I told him I really want a pair of those boots. So it was a full circle moment to be reached out by them, and I finally have my own pair of Blundstone boots. Another part of my daily routine is making home cooked meals, and I was craving enchiladas, and I follow my mom's recipes. So I shredded the chicken, I dip the tortillas in the sauce, and then I put them on the pan. So I made myself some enchiladas, and look how good this is. My mom's not Mexican, but this is how she was taught by her Mexican friends, so this is how I do them. Now let's move on to a crafting commercial break. Here are some of the crafting projects that I've been working on. I'm always crafting, and I wanted to upcycle some of our old forks and add these little gems to them, and they came out so cute. And because I had one of my big events coming up, you know, I was busy crafting these structures, and here's how they were coming along. They were coming out so good. I'm actually really proud of myself that I did all of this. The second to last step to this process is doing joint compound, and it just kind of adds this more sturdy, kind of smooth texture to the structures. And then it was time for me to paint. I love color, so I wanted to make these colorful, and then I just kept designing stuff on there. I didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted to paint on these, so I just kind of let my brain and hand do the work. There wasn't a lot of thinking, and if I didn't like something, I would just like paint over it. But I love how they turned out. Once you just kind of like go into the flow, it just comes out of you. I genuinely enjoyed making these. I think these are my new hyperfixation craft, and I just want to get into cardboard art and make so many more of these, but I don't have the room. But this is how they all came out, and I love them so much. And because I'm a crazy crafter, On top of all of the other things that I had on my plate, I also decided to make my first Ren Fair outfit from scratch. It was half thrifted and also half DIY'd, so here I am making my fairy skirt. And I had like maybe a week to finish this outfit too while I was busy doing other stuff. I've never gone to a Ren Fair, so this was my first time going, and this is how my outfit turned out. This entire vlog is like a span of 2 weeks, so I wanted to finish off this vlog with a fun event that we did, and it was so much fun. This was my husband and I's first time at the Ren Fair, and our friends and people who knew us were shocked that we had never been to it because it is completely our vibe. We are fantasy nerds, we're very whimsical people, so we very thoroughly enjoyed ourselves here. We of course took dressing up very seriously, and then my husband really started to get into character. When we first got there, we were a little bit nervous with like the character kind of play, but then my husband was all in. We had so much fun at the Ren Fair and can't wait to go back next year. But yeah, that's how life has been the last couple of weeks. It's been chaotic, it's been fun, and tune back in because I'm gonna have some travel vlogs coming up.